Hey Fuzzy Goat family, Melissa here in Thomasville, Georgia. I am back and I'm so happy to be here with you today. I hope you had a good week and a happy Memorial Day. I was at the beach. It was lovely. We had lovely weather and it was really good to be away, but at the same time, it's really good to be back and back in my routine. And as you can see, I finished my, what do we call this? Top of the heat. So I'm going to stand up so you guys can see it. I finished it actually last night. So, move this back a little bit. So I'm happy with it. If you guys can imagine, I thought I had my stripes off right here, but apparently I didn't. I really thought I got a couple of those colors mixed up, but I wasn't going to fix it. But you can imagine how many ends, oh my gosh, to do stripes. Lots of ends. And luckily when I was knitting it, I carried it in the back, like when I switched colors, because I didn't want to carry. How do I want to say this? If it was just a couple rows, I did carry the yarn if I was going to use it again in a couple rows, but most cases I wasn't. You were switching. But even when I cut the yarn, I locked it in with a couple stitches so that I didn't feel like I had to do too much weaving in. I just wanted to hide the yarn, if that makes sense. But there was like probably 50 or more. It was a lot. And somehow on the back of the sweater, which is what I did first, I had drop stitches. It was strange. I don't know if I was going too fast, and I would just catch it just enough so it looked like I caught it, and then a few rows later, thank you, Kara, for my my top. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. Top of the heat, fingering. There's a couple different options. You could do it as solid. You could do it. I think they had a fade as well, and I just did the stripe because I had some yarn. But on the back, I had probably 5 stitches that it looked like I dropped, and I couldn't figure out why. I don't have one on the front, so I think I must have been going too fast, or I don't know. I was using the Addies, which I love, but I haven't used them in a while, so maybe I don't know. But I had to tack those down, so it didn't unravel. But yeah, so I'm really happy with it. So I think I made the large. Do I have it with me? In case you have any questions. I don't think I have it on here. This is my little cheat sheet, y'all. So I keep all my patterns here, and then when I'm done, if I don't want to file them yet, I keep them in here. So this is my pattern little book. I love this little book. Love it. Anyway, I think I made the 42-inch. Can't remember. But anyway, you can, if you have questions, just let us know. Just text me or put a comment in here. Somebody's asking, do I swatch every sweater? Yes, and where I have a note on here to actually talk about that today. I do swatch every sweater. This is me. I may not do a whole swatch like a 4x4 if it's just a stockinette, if it's a yarn that I'm familiar with. If it's a pattern that they want you to swatch, I will do a whole one because with the way I knit, sometimes I can be loose or tight. So yes, I do always swatch, even if it's just a half of a swatch, okay, just so I can make sure that I'm correct. Like I've said before, I almost always, when I see a pattern like this one, I think might have been in a 3 or 4, I almost always go down, but I still do a swatch in the needle that I think I should be in. So yes, do a swatch. There was another thing I was going to say about swatching. I'll come to it. I can't remember, but that is why you should swatch. Somebody's asking about my vacation. It was very nice. It was really nice to get away. We were in Charleston, Isle of Palm, and it's just nice to be back. We got back Sunday, so I did get some knitting done. Obviously, I finished the sweater, and a couple projects would come to me on the beach. I went on to a concert with my sister, and I brought it along. So, all right. I think I might have mentioned everything I wanted to. No, this is what I was going to say about this sweater. The top of the heat was you knit the back and then you knit the front, and it is a little unnerving because I'm used to doing top down, or at the very least in the round bottom up, because you don't know until you go in to piece that thing together if it's going to fit or not. So I made it longer, and I'm not sure. I'm going to stand up again because some of you just know. Some of you. Hey, Nylene, you look Fanta. Thank you. I don't know what that means. But I made it longer because I must always make my sweaters a little longer, and I think I might have made it too long, like an extra inch. But you don't know when you're doing it in pieces. So that's why it's really good to swatch, and that's why it's really good to measure yourself and make sure that you're getting the ease that you want. So I'm going to stand up one more time so you guys can see the stripe. Okay? And maybe you don't see the holes in the back because hopefully I did a good job of covering those up. I got a little note here on the floor. All right, so that I did want to talk about that. So always measuring and making sure you are making it with the ease you want. Somebody was talking about swatching, and if you're knitting in the round, like this was knitted flat, so I did my swatch flat, knitting and purling, which to me is a different gauge than if you're knitting in the round. So if I'm knitting a sweater in the round, I'll do the swatch in the round, and not necessarily doing the full circle, so you might have some extra yarns in the back, but always knitting because a purl stitch is different. I also realize that when I do a smaller swatch, I'm a little bit looser than when I'm knitting in a full round. So I keep that in mind when I'm checking my gauge. I hope that doesn't confuse anybody, but I just thought I'd mention that. All right, so where am I with my projects? So this little fella came on the beach with me a couple times, and it is full of sand. It was very windy, and it also came to the concert with me. So this, and I came to the doctor's office with me yesterday, and somebody asked what I was making. So fun. So I'm getting there. It's still a tank top. Not a tank top, a crop top. We do not want a crop top. So we have a little ways to go, but it's getting there. Let's see. Yeah, and I'm getting into the purple, which is fun. This is the shop. Oh, look at, I don't know if you guys can see all the sand falling out. I've got sand in here now. So I don't have much more to go. I would say, on this one, I think especially if you're doing stripes, she has you counting your rows. At this point, I'm just going until it's at a length I like, so I will probably try it on again soon. And then at the bottom, I think she has you do some this purl and knit around the bottom. So anyway, so that's coming along nicely. It's been fun knitting from and it's been nice because, sometimes when you're knitting off a ball and it's in the bag, it bounces around and it can bounce out. Well, this doesn't. I just can't believe how much sand is in here. I just made sure that where I was pulling from was at the top, so I didn't and it just came off. You didn't have to, I don't know, it just came off nicely, and just kept it in the bag. We might need a vacuum over here. Got some sand. Like a lot of sand. Sorry about that. I didn't clean that one out. Okay, so that one is Stormy. Yeah, Stormy. Sleeveless sweater, Stormy. Sleeveless, and that's how you do it. Look it up. Sleeveless sweater, Stormy. This one has 0 ease. Keeping that in mind. 0 to 2 inches of ease. Okay. Stormy. All right. So my husband he really likes this one, and he wants me to finish it. But I also realize that it's going to be kind of warm with all the color work. But it is fun. I have on my last chart. I didn't work on this too much. I'm going to be honest because I was really focused on this sweater. But I did get into that last color chart last night. Let me just spread this out. It's really not much, but here on the bottom. Oh. With a little more red. So a little more red's coming in. And then I think I go back into the dark gray. And then I have ribbing. I think the ribbing is quite a bit. Where's my picture? I was just looking at it. It's a different kind of ribbing, like a knit through the back kind of thing. It's about 3 or 4 inches. So I'm hoping that goes pretty fast. And then I am doing the short sleeves. This is the longer sleeve version. I think there's one color chart on the sleeve. So we got that. I'm getting there on both of these things. This has been fun to do though. Fun, and you have to be in the mood. A lot of, it's color work, but I just love color work. I love to see the colors coming out in the pattern, and especially when it's different than the color, the colors they used. It's just fun. Anyway, I encourage you, if you haven't done color work, to do color work. It doesn't have to be this detailed, but it is just so much fun. All right, so that is Ember. One small one. I do have a funny story to share. My y'all, I didn't tell you guys this either. My daughter has been invited to her her boyfriends. They're having a family reunion in Alabama. And I said, "Oh, that's great. Maybe I can send some brownies or something with you." And he's like, "Well, it's not potluck." And I'm like, "What?" I said, "Potluck?" He said, "No, potluck." Like he's like really enunciating it. And I just started laughing. I said, "Hold the door. We're gonna have to look that one up." So I Googled potluck. And he Googled potluck, and there is no such thing as potluck unless you're playing a game, I guess. And so it was just comical. He was pretty adamant. I guess they call it that. His family calls it potluck. And he's like, you're lugging around something, you're lugging around food, I guess. So I don't know. It's funny. If anybody has heard of that, let me know. Oh, I was reading some notes there. Sorry. Okay, so that's my embers. I think I just have one more, you guys. And I'm excited to be down to 3 and to know that I'm almost done with these because I got some others I want to do. All right, let's get the last one. This one has been, I'm going to say fun again. You guys know I love my knitting. This is the Rocket Tee, and I've had it actually in my, it's a small picture. I've had it in my queue for some time, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it stripe. And I'm not doing it stripe. I decided to do it in one color. And this also calls for, okay, you can see my notes right here. So it calls for it calls for a 5, which is pretty good on a fingering yarn. And I went down to a 4, and I checked my gauge, and it was correct. It's so I've chosen, this yarn came in, and I just loved it, and I couldn't decide what to do with it until I saw somebody come in with a Rocket Tee on, and she had made it in a solid. And of course, this is not solid. This is, yes. This is the Rocket Tee, and it's a V-neck. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's a V-neck, so the construction's a little different. I am doing the back and the shoulders. It's got raglan sleeve. Okay, this is the top. Okay, this is the top back. You can see kind of the sleeves right here. This is the back. This is the other sleeve, and the front. So I'm increasing in the front until the V's finished, and then I'm going to go in the round. And this is Copper Corgi. I just love this. Teal Me. I just think that's so much fun. And so I'm doing a solid. So I'm excited. I don't know if I would do it in a stripe. Maybe I would. I don't know. I've got the stripe out with this one. There's a lot of ends to weave in a stripe. But anyway, so the Rocket Tee. And I think that's all I see. Yeah. I have another one that I have a couple that I need to work on for friends and my mom. I'm going to do my mom a ranunculus in the goat colorway. So I'm excited about that. And we're going to have some more of those kits coming in. So I put a little notification on the website, we'll let you know when they're in. And then I have the, I think I have it in here. This one I'm excited about, more so because of the yarn. This is called the V-neck box. No boxy. There we have it, and there's a rounded neck and a V-neck, and it's fingering. And now you got me curious because I just might have to give it a swatch. I have traveling yarn to do this, so I'm excited. But here, let me show you this picture. It's not the thing that's kind of cool about it. It's if you can see that. Hold on. There is a little bit of a pattern in there, but not too much. I think that's mostly on the sleeves. So I'm excited about it, and I want to see what size needle it says to use. A 4. So I'll probably do a 3, which isn't too bad with fingering yarn. I think that's it. I'm glad to be back. I hope to hear from you guys. If I can help you plan a project or send you pictures, you can text us, email us, or call us. Of course, check out our website at fuzzygoatyarns.com. All right, and I will look forward to seeing you guys next week. Okay, take care. Bye.